The tide is turning, the house is quiet, and one choice is about to crack the whole summer wide open. Belly stands at the edge of the season and the edge of her heart, knowing that when she steps forward, someone will shatter, someone will heal, and nothing will feel simple ever again. Asterisk, before we dive into what episode 11 might bring, let's breathe in the road that led us here. This season has felt like an old song playing on a new radio, same melody, fresh ache. Belly has carried loss and hope like twin shells in her pockets, touching each when she needs courage. Conrad has learned how to stand still long enough to be honest, yet runs the moment truth burns. Jeremiah shines like the easy sunrise, warm, steady, promising, but even he has storms he hides when he smiles. Every step they took back to the beach house was a step into the past, where Susanna's laughter still sits on the stairs, where Laurel's words still echo about love and the hurt it brings, and where Stephen keeps trying to be the kind of brother who knows when to joke and when to guard the door. We saw Belly try to move on by making new plans, and then fall back when a memory brushed her shoulder. We watched Conrad hold his feelings like a secret letter he can't mail, and Jeremiah offer his heart like a key left under the mat always there, if she wants to come home. The summer days looked soft, but the choices under them were sharp. Every small glance, every quiet drive, every fight that ended with a wet laugh and red eyes, all of it stacked up like waves landing on the same stretch of sand. Episode 10. The questions were louder than the music. Can you love two people and still be fair? Is first love a promise or a ghost? Is comfort the same as truth? Belly has grown from the girl who wanted the perfect summer into a young woman who knows summers end, and that endings can still be beautiful if you face them with open eyes. She has been pulled by Conrad's gravity and lifted by Jeremiah's light. She has tried to be a bridge between who she was and who she is becoming, but bridges shake when the wind rises, and the wind is up now. The boys, for their part, have tried to protect Belly and still fight for her, which is like trying to hold water in clenched fists. It leaks anyway. Conrad's fear of loss makes him cautious, then distant, then guilty for being distant. Jeremiah's fear of being second makes him brave, then jealous, then tired of being brave for two. In quiet scenes folding towels, leaving notes on the fridge, standing in doorways, they've all told the truth in small ways. And small truths are the kind that cut deepest because you can't argue with them. The beach house itself has been a character. 2 stairs that know the weight of their feet, a kitchen that knows their midnight snacks, a porch that knows how many almost kisses were saved by a knock or a ringtone. We've watched Laurel try to guide Belly without steering her, which is the hardest kind of mothering. We've watched Stephen learn that jokes are armor, but armor gets heavy, and sometimes you have to set it down so people can see your real face. As the season tightened, time started to fold, old summers rose to meet the new one, and it felt like all three of them were walking through a hall of mirrors, what they wished for, what they fear, what might still happen. Belly began to understand that choosing is not cruelty. It is honesty. And yet honesty hurts, especially when it arrives late. That is where we leave them at the end of episode 10, standing in a fragile peace that cannot last, carrying words they still need to say, while a bigger truth that love without clarity is just waiting presses on all their hearts. The finale is not just about who Belly chooses. It is about what kind of person she decides to be when she chooses. Will she pick the love that feels safe or the love that feels true? Or will she choose herself, not as a retreat, but as a promise? To stop breaking 3 hearts at once? The sand is already marked with their steps, as the tide is coming to wash a new path. Whatever Belly does next will set the map for all of them. That is the real cliff's edge we stand on now, and the view from here is both breathtaking and terrifying. Like the moment before a wave lifts you. Asterisk, sometimes the heart writes its own script before the mind can catch up, and season 3 has been proof of that. Every glance Belly gives, every word Conrad swallows, every laugh Jeremiah forces, these are not just small details. They are foreshadowing written in invisible ink. Think back to the moments when Belly stood between them, not as a prize, but as a person searching for her place. Each scene has been like a puzzle piece, scattered across the sand, waiting for the tide of the finale to arrange them. And what makes episode 11 so unique is that it's not just a conclusion, it's a mirror to everything they've said and everything they've left unsaid. It reflects the years of first crushes, whispered promises, the ache of missing Susanna, and the pressure of trying to live up to the version of themselves they think they should be. The finale is where all those reflections collide, where the mirror finally cracks, and what shines through is the raw, unpolished truth of who they are. Conrad's journey has been built on silence. He is the boy who watches storms form in his chest and smiles so no one notices. In the finale, his silence can no longer be safe, becomes a decision. Does he finally say the words, "Belly has been waiting to hear since the beginning"? Or does he let the weight of his fear crush his chance at love? Jeremiah, on the other hand, has been the boy who speaks when he is scared of being forgotten. His love is open, constant, sometimes messy, but always there. Yet the finale tests him in a way he has never been tested. Can love stay brave when it's no longer easy? No. Can he still be her sunrise when the night feels endless? Belly is the axis where these questions turn, and her choice is not just between two brothers, it is between two versions of herself. With Conrad, she is the girl who believes in first love's poetry, fragile but unforgettable. With Jeremiah, she is the woman learning that stability and devotion are also forms of passion. But here's the truth. The finale dares to suggest a third option. That maybe Belly's decision is not about Conrad or Jeremiah, but about stepping off the triangle altogether. Choosing independence does not mean rejecting love. It means refusing to let love define her before she defines herself. That possibility is what makes episode 11 feel less like a love story and more like a coming-of-age climax. Look closely at the themes threaded through this season: time, memory, and choice. Time reminds them that summers end, no matter how badly they want them to last. Memory reminds them that love is tied to grief, because every happy moment carries the shadow of someone they lost. And choice, that is the sharpest theme of all. The finale forces each character to stop drifting on the tide of what if and plant their feet in the sand of what now. Conrad choosing honesty over retreat. Jeremiah choosing dignity over desperation. Belly choosing clarity over comfort. Each decision might feel small on the surface, words spoken on a porch, hands reaching for each other in a car, a single tear on the beach, but those small acts are the tectonic shifts that change everything. And beyond Belly's decision lies the ripple effect.
No.
Laurel has carried the weight of being both anchor and sail for her children. In the finale, she will have to face whether her advice gave Belly the freedom she needed or the pressure she couldn't handle. Stephen, always the comic relief, has begun to understand that laughter is not a shield, but a bridge. His arc in the finale could be the quiet thread that grounds the chaos, a reminder that family endures even when romance fractures. The beach house, too, plays its role. Every wall, every creak of the stairs, every salty gust through its windows has been a witness to their becoming. In episode 11, the house is more than a setting. It is a memory vessel holding the echoes of summers gone and asking if this will be the last. That lingering question whether this house will close its doors on them forevers. It's tied to Belly's choice as much as her heart is. This is why the finale feels so unique. It is not promising an answer neatly tied with ribbon.
Ow.
It is promising a storm. A storm of words, tears, confessions, and realizations. A storm that may hurt but will cleanse. Episode 11 is the breaking point, where the love triangle burns off its shine and reveals the raw heart underneath. It's not about who Belly chooses, it's about whether she chooses bravely. Asterisk, the finale does not begin with fireworks. It begins with silence. A silence that hangs heavy, like the pause before thunder. We've seen this silence before in Conrad's pauses when his words threaten to betray him, in Jeremiah's forced smiles when he knows he's losing ground, in Belly's wide-eyed moments when she pretends the choice can wait until tomorrow. But in episode 11, that silence will be deafening. It will fill the hallways of the beach house, the car rides that feel too long, the porch swings that creak under the weight of things unsaid. Silence becomes the fourth character, pressing against them, demanding they finally speak. And when they do, the words will not sound like declarations of love from a romance novel. They will sound raw, stumbling, human. Conrad may not have the perfect confession. Jeremiah may not have the flawless promise, and Belly may not have the clean answer. But that is the point. The finale strips away the polish of summer romance and shows us the messy truth. Love is rarely cinematic when it matters most. It is trembling hands, your interrupted sentences, and the courage to stand still while your heart breaks. Picture the beach at dusk. The horizon is melting gold into dark blue, and the waves are steady, patient, eternal. Belly walks barefoot, the sand clinging to her like memory. This image is more than a sin, it's a metaphor. She is caught between two tides. Conrad's tide pulling her back to the first time she believed in forever, and Jeremiah's tide urging her forward to something steady, safe, new. Each step she takes is heavy with history, each glance over her shoulder a reminder of what she might be leaving behind. This is the moment the finale leans into the quiet, in-between, where love does not look like joy, but like sacrifice. Fans may hope for a kiss, a choice, a hand held in certainty. But what makes episode 11 unique is that it may not give satisfaction. Instead, it might give something sharper, honesty. And honesty does not heal right away. It stings before it soothes. There is also a shadow in this finale, one we cannot ignore: Susanna's absence. She is gone, but she is everywhere. Her laughter is stitched into the walls, her advice hums in the background of every choice. For Conrad, she is the reason he fears losing love. For Jeremiah, she is the reason he craves being enough. For Belly, she is the reminder that life is short and love must be real. Episode 11 cannot escape her ghost, because her ghost is the map they all use to navigate. In the finale, Susanna's presence may not be in flashbacks or letters. It may be in the way her children act when they are finally forced to grow up. When Belly chooses, she is not just choosing between two brothers. She is choosing how to carry Susanna's memory forward. That is what gives the finale its depth, is not only a love triangle resolution, but a generational echo about grief, growth, and the way love can both save and scar. And then there's the question of independence. What if the finale dares to break the triangle? What if Belly says no to both? This possibility burns brighter with each episode, hinted at in her moments of frustration, her insistence on wanting space, flashes of maturity when she realizes no boy can fix her grief or define her worth. The finale could very well be Belly stepping into herself, not as a girl who chooses between two loves, but as a young woman who chooses her own heart first. Imagine the shock, the tears, the arguments across fandoms if Belly ends episode 11 standing alone, stronger for it. That would not be a betrayal of romance, it would be the truest kind of love story. The one where the heroine finally loves herself enough to stop breaking others. Episode 11 is not promising easy answers. It is promising a reckoning. A reckoning with grief, with loyalty, with the way first love burns bright, but not always forever. The silence will break, the words will spill, and the tide will rise. What comes after is unknown, but that is why the finale will linger long after the credits roll. It will not just end a season. It will ask a question that fans will carry with them. When summer ends, what part of love is worth keeping? Asterisk, the finale's heartbeat is not just in the story, it's in the audience. Every glance Belly shares, every hesitation Conrad carries, every promise Jeremiah makes has already spilled out of the screen and into living rooms, group chats, and late-night debates. Team Conrad and Team Jeremiah are no longer just labels. They are battle lines drawn in sand that fans refuse to let the tide wash away. But episode 11 doesn't just belong to the characters, it belongs to the people watching, waiting to see their hopes validated or their hearts shattered. The power of this finale is that it risks dividing us even more, and maybe that's the point. Love triangles are never tidy, and neither is the fandom that grows around them. The writers know this. They've planted enough clues, enough pauses, enough double-edged lines to ignite every possible theory. And now, as the finale looms, the fan base holds its breath, ready to either cheer or grieve depending on a single decision that might feel like destiny or betrayal. Think about it. Conrad loyalists point to the weight of history, the depth of first love, the invisible string that ties Belly to him no matter how far apart they drift. They believe that love that survives storms deserves the sunrise. Jeremiah fans, though, see a different truth, that Belly deserves someone who chooses her without hesitation, who doesn't hide love in silence, who shines with her instead of making her fight through shadows. And then there's the third camp, the quiet but growing wave of viewers who whisper, maybe neither. They see the cost of this triangle not as romance, but as erosion. How it wears down Belly, Conrad, and Jeremiah until all that's left is exhaustion. For them, the bravest choice is for Belly to walk away, not in defeat, but in self-discovery. Episode 11 holds all three truths in its hands, and whichever it chooses will echo far beyond this season. But here's where the finale becomes more than just a love story. It becomes generational. It asks every viewer to confront the choices they made when they were Belly's age. Did you choose first love and hold on no matter the cracks? Did you choose stability and gratitude for the one who stayed? Or did you choose yourself, even if it meant walking into the unknown alone? The finale mirrors back those memories, making us not just spectators but participants. That is why this episode has fans theorizing late into the night, because it's not only about Belly's decision, it's about ours, and what comes after. That's the cliffhanger that stings. If Belly chooses Conrad, we face the question of whether first love can truly last once summer fades into the real world. If she chooses Jeremiah, we ask whether second choices can become first loves with time. If she chooses herself, the triangle collapses. But a stronger story rises, one where Belly stops being defined by two brothers and starts defining herself. No matter the path, Episode 11 sets the tone for everything after. It decides whether Season 3 closes as a romance, a tragedy, or a rebirth. And for fans, it becomes a test of loyalty. Do we cling to our teams? Or do we embrace the messy, painful, beautiful reality that not every love story ends the way we dream it will? When the credits roll, there will be tears, there will be outrage, there will be joy, but above all, there will be silence again. The same silence that began this story. A silence filled with questions, with longing, with the ache of endings that are not really endings. And in that silence, the show will have done what it always set out to do. Remind us that summer may turn pretty, but it always turns fragile, and the decisions made in its glow never leave us. Asterisk.